Good morning and welcome, and thank you for coming out early for our event today. Legacies are built on seminal moments, when the lights shine brightest, when the challenge seems insurmountable, when the eyes of the world are on you. That is when great athletes see the rarest of opportunities to shape their legacy, to ensure that their name lives on. Evander Holyfield once said, "A champion shows who he is by what he does when he's tested." Back in November, the two best pound-for-pound fighters in the world tested each other like they had never been tested before in their careers. On that night, world champion Andre Ward faced a defining moment and countered with an epic comeback victory over Sergey Kovalev. After that showdown, there was a lot of talk, a lot of debate, a lot of speculation, and yes, a lot of excuses. But on June 17th, we will put all that talk to bed, because Ward Kovalev 2, the rematch, is officially on. And from this day forward, there will be no excuses. We return to Las Vegas, where all big fights belong, live at the Mandalay Bay Event Center and on HBO pay-per-view. Rock Nation is proud to be the lead promoter of this global event presented by Corona Extra and powered by Monster Products. Perhaps no other sport is as much about legacy as the sport of boxing. And make no mistake about it, this is a legacy fight for both fighters. Andre Ward is the best boxer in the world. There is simply no debate. He is undefeated, breathlessly talented, and has gladly taken on any fighter with the guts to face him. For Andre, this fight represents the final nail in the coffin for the rest of this division and his would-be competitors, and the latest feat in a career that only can be defined as flawless. For Sergey, he has a lot to prove, which may be why he's been so, let's call it, active on social media. After falling short in November, Sergey has become his own personal hype machine. In one of his latest tweets, he demanded, "Andre, pray to me." Sergey, I think what you were trying to say was, "Pray for me," which we all will do before you get back into the ring with Andre on June 17th. Clearly, the stakes cannot be higher for this rematch. More than just wins and championship belts, this fight will ultimately dictate the fate of each fighter's legacy. MGM and HBO are synonymous with the biggest and the best boxing events, and Rock Nation is honored to be working in partnership with them for yet another historic fight. This event could not have been possible without the support of Richard Sturm and Sid Greenfeig of MGM, and HBO's Peter Nelson and Tony Walker. I'd like to take this opportunity to specifically thank them. I'd also like to thank our chairman, Jay-Z, and president of Rock Nation Sports, Juan Perez, for their support of this sure-to-be epic event. Despite what you read in some corners of the boxing world, this rematch was always inevitable. Both fighters wanted it, both promoters wanted it, and I would be remiss if I did not sincerely thank Main Events and Kathy and Nicole Duva for their professionalism and class in negotiating and finalizing the June 17th fight. Additionally, a big thank you to our presenting sponsor, Corona Extra, as well as Monster Products. I would also like to acknowledge La Parker Meridian for their support and for hosting us all here today. Last but certainly not least, thank you to Team Ward, to Andre, James Prince, Josh Dubin, and Virgil Hunter, not only for once again putting their unblemished championship record on the line under the bright lights of Sin City, but for being incredible partners throughout this process and the best ambassadors the sport of boxing could possibly ask for. Thank you all. Now, I am excited to invite Main Event's owner and CEO, Kathy Duva, to the microphone. As I mentioned earlier, Kathy and her team should be commended for helping to secure this rematch, and we are excited to work with her and Main Events to make June 17th an historic night for all involved. Kathy?
Thank you, Michael. That was very eloquent. What? That was a compliment. I'm not going to go through all the same stuff. Of course, thank HBO, thank the Parker Meridian, thank MGM and Mandalay Bay, and of course our sponsors, Corona and Monster. I'll make it short and sweet. My greatest hope for June 17th is that the winner wins this time. And Sergey's going to do everything in his power to make sure there's no question about who that is. Thank you. Let me start. Aegis Klimas, of course, has just been mentioned. Sergey's great trainer who has had a very, very busy week, as we all know. And he couldn't be here today, and so he has sent his assistant, Daniel, who is going to come up, and he is going to speak in Aegis's behalf. Daniel?
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, Aegis couldn't make it. He was at the fights yesterday in MGM, National Hill. He's happy about the rematch that actually happened. We're excited about it. We're ready. Just thank you for all the promotion that have been done for the fight. Thank you, HBO, for making this happen. And he'll be tomorrow at the San Francisco press conference, so he'll talk to you then. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Daniel. You know, Sergey Kovalev has had a lot of hard things happen in his life, and November was another one of those things. He showed me then that in his reaction to that, that he is the champion I always believed he was. And I expect he's going to show us all in June how to get your titles back. And here he is, the former light heavyweight champion of the world and future light heavyweight champion of the world, Sergey Kovalev.
Hello, everybody. I will try to speak Russian, okay, and Daniel will be translate because I can say more what I think and what I want to say on my native language. Здравствуйте всем. Я очень рад, что все-таки бой уже будет. По крайней мере, на бумаге это уже написано, что бой будет 17 июня. Я этому очень рад. Спасибо моей команде и команде Ворда за то, что, в принципе, они это сделали.
Hello, everyone. I'm thankful that the fight will take place on June 17th. At least it will take place on the paper for now. And I'm appreciate for my team and Team Ward that this fight will actually happen.
Также я хочу извиниться перед фанатами бокса за свой последний бой, так как отбоксировал очень ужасно, сделал определенные ошибки в бою, поэтому реванш расставит все на свои места и по праву выявим, кто на самом деле чемпион.
I also want to say I want to apologize to my fans for my performance in the last fight. I haven't done what I should have done, but I think the rematch will square everything away, and we will see who's the better fighter.
Ну и в принципе много говорить тут не стоит. Все увидим 17 июня. Вот, все увидят. Вот. Но главное, хочу, наверное, отметить тот момент, чтобы Андрей Уорд не за неделю там не соскочил с боя, не там ввиду травмы или еще чего-то. Я надеюсь, у него на самом деле хоть есть настоящие яйца, что он настоящий мужик, и он выйдет в бой 17 июня.
I'm not gonna do much talking. June 17 will talk for itself. The only thing I just hope that a week or 2 weeks before the fight, Andre Ward does not get injured and he have enough balls to come up and fight me on that date on June 17th.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sergey.
You're welcome.
So now we know you speak English. First up from Team Ward, to give you his thoughts on the rematch of David and Goliath is Andre's manager, James Prince.
I'd like to thank God for this opportunity. HBO, Peter Nelson. I also like to say, Peter, you definitely a man of your word as well. We'd like to thank Rock Nation, our promoter, who has stood by us 1,000%, solid as a rock. Warren, Dez, hard-working Mike, y'all, bro, we appreciate y'all. We appreciate all the hard work and the commitment that you all have stood by us with. We're looking forward to this fight coming up, David versus Goliath Part 2. As I said the last time, and I reiterate the same thing because it hadn't much changed, other than we've cracked your code now, Sergio, your code has been cracked. We know who you are now. So understand that. And, come June the 17th, you will see one of the greatest fights ever. And as I stated earlier in the interview with HBO, don't be surprised if Kovalev get knocked out this fight. It's that type of atmosphere going on right now. So don't you be surprised. So we look forward to that moment. And I noticed that you've been real vulgar lately about a lot of things, but you need to know when you're dealing with men of God, we don't have no fear of nothing you bring to the table. So understand that. And once again, the United States, we shall be victorious against Russia, as always. And we look forward to it. Thank you.
And now the moment you've all been waiting for, the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, the face of boxing, a proud Oakland native, family man, an athlete Rock Nation Sports is honored to represent. He's 31-0, hasn't lost a fight since he was 13 years old, and a man who doesn't know the meaning of the word excuse. On June 17th, he will continue to secure his legacy as an all-time great. Ladies and gentlemen, the champ, Andre Ward.
I want to thank everybody for coming out today. The media, obviously HBO, Peter Nelson and his whole team. These guys work tireless to get these kind of things done, and I appreciate them. Obviously, my team, James Prince, Josh Dubin, Rock Nation, and everybody at Rock Nation, Jay-Z, Juan and Desiree Perez, and obviously Michael Yormark. It's imperative to have a good team. We talk a lot about fighting, and we talk a lot about matchups, but we don't talk a lot about business. And when you talk about business in this sport, it's frowned upon. But then when we see fighters 10, 15, 20 years down the road, shuffling in a room, nothing to show tangibly for what they fought for, that's okay. By the grace of God and by way of my team, that's not going to happen to me. And unfortunately, there's perception and there's reality. When you're young, you get caught up in the perception. You care about every little thing that's written, everybody's opinion. But as you grow and learn this business, and this is what I tell the young guys that I mentor, it's not about perception. The perception is that it's something, some type of mentality that I'm showing or have shown after this fight that I hadn't shown up until this point. Where does that make sense? Nobody in this room can point to a fighter that I've run from. Nobody can point to a fight where I turned. Not one time. That's not in my track record. So I don't mind the perception of, I don't care about an Instagram, I don't care about that stuff, man. This is chess, it's not checkers. You can make all the moves you want to make, but it's about the checkmate. And that's when the game is over. So while they talking, my team is working, protecting my interest. Life after boxing, which again isn't talked about enough. Educating me on the ins and outs. See, a lot of people talk about the money and the guarantee, but they're not talking about the upside. They're not talking about the personal sponsorships for the fight and your obligations for those sponsorships. They're not talking about the television rights and the foreign rights. They're not talking about the merchandise. You just be tough and keep fighting. Just show up and fight. I'm not with that, man. I want the whole thing. I want to understand everything. The fighting is academic. I've been doing this 23 years. And what they got to understand, there's nothing scary about this man. You realize we just fought 12 rounds 4 months ago? And everybody wants to highlight the knockdown. That's probably one of the most beautiful moments of my career. And then did you guys see the other 10 rounds? Nobody's talking about that. But that's what makes us who we are. We don't have that soft cushion to fall on. It's hard concrete down there, so we don't want to fall. We got another drive, we got another gear that we got to tap into when we hit adversity and when we hit the canvas. And you guys saw that in the biggest moment of my career. I didn't get to where I'm at because there's something weak about me. I didn't get to this point by happenstance. Some may not like it, but you got to respect it. You don't have to, but we've earned the position that we have. So we don't mind being understated. We don't have to meet them tweet for tweet, Instagram for Instagram. Got a lot of respect for Kathy Duva, but a lot of the tactics are old and played out. Put pressure on Ward. It's impossible. The fight was academic. The fight was going to be had. Let's get the business handled. And when my team green-lighted me and said, hey, go ahead and announce it, that's what I do. I don't worry about perception. The reality is he's got to see me June 17th. That's the reality of the situation. I love the talk, builds the fight. It's all good. I love some people feeling like, oh, you lost. It's all good. It builds the fight. And we locked heads for 12 rounds. He knows. That's the reality of the situation. He felt me. He knows. And that's enough for me. In June 17th, it's not going to be no different. We're going to get started a little bit earlier. And whether you're with me or whether you're against me, tune in. It's going to be a great show. Appreciate everybody's time out here today. Don't miss this fight. June 17th. He got what he asked for.
Thank you, champ. Clearly, June 17th represents more than a boxing match to both competitors. Legacy is at stake. The script with which each fighter's life story will be written is at stake. When Andre Ward and Sergey Kovalev awake from a well-deserved rest on the morning of June 18th, there will be no more unanswered questions, no hand-wringing, no contentious debate, no controversy, no more excuses. There will be only one true champion, one pound-for-pound king, one real face of this sport. Now, most importantly, and write this down, our ticket presale starts Wednesday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. That will be followed by our public on sale, which will start on Friday, also at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Ticket prices are as follows: $12.55, $7.55, $5.05, $3.55, $2.55, and $1.05. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for attending. We look forward to seeing you on June 17th.